Hello everyone, George here, Catholic Positive Energy. Nice to see everyone. Hope you like my blue cardigan sweater. I know you've seen the red one, I have a blue one, I also have a green one. Maybe in the future I might get more. Wouldn't be such a bad idea. So, welcome. Now, the name of today's broadcast is, Do You Have Helpers? Now, what do I mean by helpers? Well, you remember our very good neighbor, God rest his soul, the late Mr. Rogers. He often said something that, something his mother told him. She would say, look for the helpers. He once said this, you can easily look it up, when he was on Arsenio Hall's talk show, I believe that was in '93. He even quoted this, and it's on YouTube. You can find it, Mr. Rogers, Arsenio Hall. You'll find it. Now, by helpers, obviously, that's very self-explanatory. I mean people who help you in your lives. Your lives. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you have people within your inner circle who care about you very much, who are here for you unconditionally, whether that be family members, friends, neighbors, co-workers, or people who you regularly see and regularly talk to, who you get along with very positively. Do you have people in your lives who are there for you unconditionally, who are willing to help you and who are willing to spend time with you and listen to you and to have a deep, meaningful conversation with you? I do. I have some very wonderful people like that in my life. I'm sure many of you do as well. Sometimes we hear about people out there in the world who are voluntarily make this choice to be a recluse. Now, if there's anybody who doesn't know what that means, I mean somebody who's isolated from the world, who lives a solitary life, who doesn't talk to anyone, someone antisocial and, keeps to themselves a lot, never talks to anyone, and I mean anyone. That would be a recluse. There was a time when I pretty much lived my life that way. I was homeschooled in high school because I got picked on a lot in public school and it was really, really bad. I didn't want to be there. I had some very bad experiences there. And, I studied at home and I loved it. It was great. Didn't have to go to school every day. Was able to, stay home, watch TV, watch movies, do my schoolwork, work out. It was great. But obviously, this is a Catholic community, but it's for everybody. But I want to talk from a Catholic perspective. God built us, human beings. He made us. He built the world, and He built us to interact with the world. So I'm sure, if we have anybody out there who loves philosophy, I'm studying theology, and that also, parallels with philosophy pretty much. They're not exactly the same, but they parallel side by side. I'm sure you've probably heard of this term, no man is an island. Now, I'm not picking on the ladies, okay? So please don't accuse me of that. That's the quote. I can't remember off the top of my head who said that. So, no man is an island. Maybe it was Aristotle who said that, I'm not sure. Aristotle's my favorite philosopher. So, like I say, human beings, we are not meant to be isolationists, recluses. We're not meant to be antisocial. Some people are, but we are not meant to be that. We are meant to interact with others, to socialize with others, to obviously learn how to get along and properly interact with others without having any disrespectful, weird feelings of interaction. We are meant to interact with the world. We're not meant to be isolationists. So as far as, when we meet someone who is willing to talk to us, who is willing to be friendly, who is willing to at least help us and willing to care about us, those are the people we need to embrace fully into our lives. There's nothing more wonderful than an unconditional friend. Now, there's different categories of friends. There's different levels of care. We'll probably meet people like when we go to church, people who look like they care about us, but unless they're trying to, invite us to their home or try to go out to lunch or dinner with us, or willing to spend time talking to us for more than a few seconds, then they don't really care about us. I've met people at church who, they just want me to join their ministry, or they want, they're asking for financial support for some kind of thing going on. And those are good intentions. Those are not bad people, but those kind of people don't really care about us. Now, if somebody walks up to you and is willing to shake your hand and introduce themselves and ask you what your name is and willing to have a nice conversation from there, that is a potential friend. If somebody's willing to talk to you and ask you about what's going on in your lives and listen to you and try to catch up, that is an unconditional friend. Truly. I have some wonderful people like that in my life, and I'm very glad to have them. Have any of you ever had friends who, it's like as soon as you talk about your problems, they don't really want to talk to you, or they want to get off the phone quickly, or maybe they don't talk to you anymore after that, or it's a really long time before you ever hear from them again? That's not an unconditional friend. It's nice to have helpers, people who help you with things, whether they be small things or big things. Could you imagine? I want you to imagine this here. Hang on. That's cranberry juice, by the way. I don't want you to think I'm drinking something else. Imagine this. See, I touched on what a recluse is. And obviously that's not what I am. Could you imagine living your life? Let's say you were let's say you're retired. You don't have to work. You're doing okay. Okay? You don't have to really interact with anybody because you don't work. All right. So you stay home all the time. For the most part, you don't really go out. Maybe just to the grocery store and the gas station or whatever. You don't talk to anybody. You don't talk to anyone on the phone or email anybody. You don't talk to your neighbors. You never really talk to people. You don't interact with people. Would you be happy living your life like that? Would you be really happy living your life like that? You never talk to anyone, which means you never utter a word throughout the day. You just watch TV or go on the internet, whatever. But you don't talk to people. You don't interact with people. You don't spend time with people. You're all alone. Now, if there's anybody out there who's watching this right now, if your answer is yes, let me know, okay? Because I've never met anybody who is happy being a recluse. If there's anybody watching me right now, please, whether you're watching me on Facebook or YouTube, please put it in the comments. If your answer really is yes, if you're really serious about it, let me know. And please let me know why. Because for the most part, we human beings are not happy living our lives like that. Like, let's say somebody who's in prison who goes to solitary confinement, and they are stuck in their cell for a very long time. No human contact allowed at all. Maybe they're allowed to go out to the yard for like 1 hour of exercise and fresh air, but for the most part, they are isolated and they don't talk to anyone. No one. Not even the guards. Now, after a while, that can be psychological torture. It truly can be. Some people may not think it's that bad at first, but it can be. So, like I say, it's important that we have helpers. It's important that we have friends, that we have people who care about us, and it's important that we care about the people around us. I've said this in past broadcasts. We need to start caring about people around us. Now, you can't be close to everybody. You can't be good friends with everybody you see, even though they may seem like great people. But you've noticed in this world, like let's say people walking out there in public places in the world, they don't all care about each other. They don't. Even some people who do regularly see people who they talk to and just make small talk once in a while, they don't care about each other. That's something I feel is wrong with the world, especially when people get into their cars and they're in a hurry. They don't care about the people in the other cars. They just care about getting from point A to point B as quickly as possible. You know, if the world cared more about people around them, this world would be a much more beautiful place. It really would. It truly would. You know? So, please, and one day I'll probably do a whole broadcast on this, start caring. Please start caring. Even if the people you may have to regularly see may not care about you, okay, don't be their friend. Don't talk to them any more than you need to. If they just want to keep a professional distance from you, they're a coworker, they're not interested in being your friend, even though you already tried, even though you were already nice to them, okay, they're not worth your time. Keep that professional distance and just try to be polite, but don't be their friend because, they're not worth your time. I've met plenty of people like that. Just focus on the helpers. Look for the people out there who try to help you and care about you. And please, I also want to reverse that. Try to be a helper to other people in your life. Now, I know some of you may be busy with your, jobs, your careers, your families, whatever it is you do. But try to be a helper to other people, especially, and this is what I often do, if you see somebody's really unhappy and they are in crisis. Try to do what you can to help them. Even, just be a shoulder for them to cry on. Just listen to them talk for just a few minutes or maybe even longer. You're already helping them just by listening. Now, some of you may think, well, I didn't really do anything. Listening is not doing anything. You see, we don't have enough good listeners. I mean, yeah, obviously, let's say you go to a counselor. You're paying them to listen to you. Yeah, I know, that's their job. They're meant to listen. They're not meant to not listen. But can you imagine if we had, if a lot of us human beings were more caring, where we would be willing to listen to people, even people we may not know or we barely know, just listen to them, and obviously whatever they tell you, you keep that between the two of you alone. Don't go around spreading that, because that's not good to ruin somebody's reputation. I mean, it might be okay as long as you don't mention the name or say if it was a man or a woman. Just, don't talk about them, especially when they're in crisis. You see, the world would be a much better place if we were more caring to one another. And if we all tried to help each other out, if there were more helpers, oh yeah. Like, some of you probably see YouTube videos, or if you're on Facebook videos of somebody who did a wonderful good deed for a homeless person. Like, I remember I saw several months ago on Facebook, there was a homeless man who, he had a job, but he didn't have a place to live. He had a really nice shirt and tie and, cloth business pants, but he was homeless. So he took a shower at one of those do-it-yourself car washes, and a police officer asked him, "What are you doing?" He was about to arrest him, but when he explained to the officer that he's homeless and this is the only way he can clean himself, then the police officer stopped what he did. He didn't arrest him. He didn't even make him leave. He helped him. He helped spray him with the hose and cleaned him. I know that went viral a while back. You could probably still find it. Or other, random acts of kindness. You see things like that are out there. And the reason why people make a big deal out of it is because it doesn't always happen. People normally don't go out of their way to help others and be kind. People normally don't do that. So when it happens, people start going, "Bravo, bravo, that's great, that's wonderful, that's a good person right there." Yeah, I try to do that for people. I don't do that so people will see me and look at me and say, "He's a great guy." No. If I was in those kinds of situations and I'm able to help someone, I will help them. I might have talked about this a long time ago, but I haven't really spent a lot of time. Let me tell you a story. Now, some of you may know, about 3 years ago, I won a car at a car raffle at church, and I wasn't expecting this to happen at all. Let me tell you something that happened before that. About 4 months before I won this car, I was at a shopping mall, and I was approached by a homeless man who had a prosthetic leg, and he was very nice. He approached me and asked me if I would get him some food so he could feed his 2 kids. So I'd never met this man before. I bought him a big sub sandwich at the mall, and I helped him out. Never met him before. I helped him out. He was very grateful and very nice, and we talked a little bit, and I asked him if he would pray for me, because I was trying to get a better job back then, ended up not getting it, but I asked him to pray for me, and he said he would. And 4 months later, I won a car at church. I just bought tickets just to help raise money for the fundraiser. I was not expecting to win the car. And even though I bought the tickets, I wasn't really trying to win the car because we'd had so many car raffles before that, and I never won. And I was expecting, I'm not going to win this one either. So I didn't even show up to the raffle day. Then I get a phone call the very next day. I turned my phone on, I woke up. And there's a voicemail from the church. I won the car. Wasn't expecting that at all. You see, these random acts of kindness, God is watching. Pardon me. God is watching us. Everything we do. God is watching. And trust me, when we do something genuinely good with nothing but good, pure intentions, as long as we're not doing good things for the wrong reasons, just so people will see us, just so people will praise us, just so people will think highly of us, you do good things even when nobody's looking. You do them for the right reasons. And if other people do happen to be looking, well, make sure that you did it because you wanted to do something good for the person you're doing it for, not just so people will see you. I want to make sure that's clear. Do good things for people for the right reasons, and God will reward you. Amen? Amen. So, thank you guys. Hope you learned a lot. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Please pray for me as I'm in graduate school and I have lots of things I have to read and study. So, all right, guys, God bless. And we're going to have a prayer broadcast next week. If any of you watching this have any intentions that you want me to be praying over the next week, or that you want me to mention on next week's broadcast, please feel free to let me know. And once again, if you would like to contact me, my email address is catholicpositiveenergy@gmail.com, and that was one E between positive and energy. So, God bless, and please remember, dignification is better than criticism.